Have as a side or an appetizer dish for Thanksgiving dinner?
Yeah, so my family traditionally hates Brussels sprouts. Like, I think a lot of people hate Brussels sprouts, and I really like them. Maybe, like, that's a chef thing. We all like them.
That's
and
funny.
So a few years ago, I created a dish, and this has to be, like, for all of you Midwesterners out there, like, I know you're going to love this. It's basically Brussels sprout casserole, which means it's Brussels sprouts with a ton of cream and other stuff in it. So it's like you don't have to worry about the pesky Brussels sprouts. They're just there for fillers.
I love cream and stuff, yes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, hey, can we make something? Yeah, when I made it for my wife the first time, who is also from Missouri, she's like, yes, this plays. Like, we can do this. So the Brussels sprout gratin is one of my absolute favorites. It's basically shaved Brussels sprouts in this really well-seasoned sauce, topped with Parmesan and breadcrumbs and baked until it's super crunchy on the top. So you get, I don't know, it gets all the sort of best of all the different worlds. So if you like a green bean casserole, but you want to go a little bit different, maybe more high-class direction this year, that's a really good option.
So turkey, do you have a way to make it less boring? I'm a guy who doesn't even love turkey, and I just saw, like, recently it's like the second least favorite thing at the Thanksgiving dinner table, but it's supposed to be the star of the dish.
Well, so honestly, it's not complicated, but the problem is that people are starting out with the wrong ingredients. Like, turkeys nowadays are nothing like what turkey was historically. And turkey's relevance culinarily has changed tremendously because we've literally changed the breed. We've swapped from something that was really flavorful, but quite a bit smaller, into something that is now very large, very fast growing, but it doesn't taste like anything. And so the point that I can give people that really is just a matter of shopping is look for something that's called a heritage breed turkey. And what this means is a turkey variety, a species or a breed of turkey that is much closer to what we originally had in the United States. So what most people don't realize is that all turkeys, all grocery store turkeys, are actually in some way related to the wild turkeys that you see out in the woods. And it's just how far we've sort of genetically changed them to where we are today. So literally, to change the turkey on your table, to have people swooning over it, you just got to buy a better turkey. And so I always tell people to go to a place called Heritage Foods, heritagefoods.com, and you can choose between a bunch of different varieties. There's Bourbon Red, Narragansett, there's Standard Bronze. These are all the old varieties of turkeys that, frankly, that was all we ate in the United States up until about 1950 or 55 when we made this switch over. It sounds like such a simple answer, but literally, if you buy the better turkey, it'll change people's perception entirely.
Genius.
Or just buy tofurkey.
Never buy tofurkey. Or if you do,
vegetarian.
Lose my invitation. So
we do have a question about vegetarians. We'll get to in a second about that, but let's go. Okay. Let's go with your dessert too. So everyone loves the turkey and loves the sides, but let's be honest, we're all here for dessert. So what's the dessert you got for us?
Well, so to me, the most iconic Thanksgiving dessert is pumpkin pie. But pumpkin pie falls in the same camp as turkey a lot of the time. It is something that people are like, yeah, pumpkin pie. And then it turns out nobody likes pumpkin pie because it's usually not very good. And again, it has a lot to do with the fact that we, in the original version of this recipe, we didn't use like jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. Like we didn't use that. We used something very different that tasted a lot better. Couple that with the fact that, frankly, making really good pies is hard. Like, that's why people's grandmas, like, can do it because they practice a lot, and then nowadays nobody else can. So I have a foolproof recipe for a pumpkin pie where all you do is make the shell, you bake it, and then the filling is actually made on the stove top. You pour it in the shell, and you refrigerate it. And that's it, and it's done. And then the next day, you slice it. It's always perfect. It's never gritty, and it's going to taste a hell of a lot better than your, like, grocery store pumpkin pie. And it's no more complicated to make than, like, literally a Jell-O, like, no-bake cheesecake.
Really?
It's super
Wow.
easy.
Nice.
That's awesome.